It's going to take a second. Are we live? I think we're live. What's up, guys? So we're live. I'm Jake.
I'm James. What's going on?
This is the Retic Exchange. This is our second live podcast video. So what's happening, James?
Man, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot at all, man. Just work, trying to get through the holidays,
Coming up quick. Coming up quick, man. What is it? We got, 4 days left? Almost there. Spend too much money on all the kids. You get your kids stuff or wife stuff and do good?
Yeah, I think we're done. We're done. So.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I still got some stuff to go get, unfortunately. Nothing like waiting till the last minute, But, yeah. Should be a good Christmas. Santa, I think, is going to do some big things here this year, hopefully. We'll see. Hopefully my kids are happy. So.
That's what it's all about.
So how's the snakes? Snakes all good? Growing?
Yeah, all is good, man. I feed everything on Sundays, but that was yesterday, so everything's good.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I did some feeding. I got a lot of these pies that are sitting right here in this rack right here. Or no, I lied. Sorry, they're in this rack right here. Most of the pies. So, yeah, I got most of them eaten. They all pretty much took a frozen thaw. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, Brandon. What's up, buddy?
So, I got most of them to eat frozen thawed on their first, or some of these it's their second meal. So that is the best feeling, man. Best freaking feeling, getting them to eat, man, right away. But they're feisty, so I kind of had a feeling they would.
What's up, Chip?
Chip, what's going on, bud? So, yeah, I got a bunch of pigs thawing right now. After this is over, I got to go feed some of the bigger stuff. But
where do you get your pigs from?
I get them from Don.
Okay.
Don Munson. He's the pig guy, man.
What's up, Chris?
What's happening, Chris? Yeah, I don't know if we touched on it or if we want to. I don't know if we want to wait till we start talking about feeding, or we want to shoot in, or you want to just talk feeding now, or you want to shoot into substrate, or what are you thinking?
We can start talking feeding. We can talk about. Go back to caging first, or was everybody's talking about feeding? Let's talk about feeding.
Yeah. So the pigs, man, I love them. I don't know. I was so apprehensive doing them, starting to feed them. Don was kind of talking me into it. I was diehard. I'm just I'll never feed pigs. I'm only going to feed rabbits and rats and guinea pigs. And so I tried it. He gave me about 50 pounds of tried, which were phenomenal. They were the best pigs I've ever used. So I used pigs about probably 8 or 9 years ago, and they sucked. They stunk. They were slimy. They were disgusting. Horrible, horrible, nasty pigs. And so I was like, I'm never going to use them again. And so he let me try some, and I loved them. And I'm deathly allergic to rabbits. So I don't know if I mentioned that in one of our other videos, but I'm highly allergic to rabbits. So my rabbit guy, I got put onto him from Jim Gaspar, guy out in Indiana. I would drive out to Indiana, pick up these live rabbits, about 60, 70 rabbits at a time, bring them home, and I would have to physically grab them, put them in a carrier, put them in my truck, and then drive down the interstate back home with 60 rabbits. Come home, and then I'd kill them, I'd bag them, and I'd freeze them. And my allergies, I couldn't breathe. I was sick for 2 days. My hands would itch. It was terrible. And I did that for years, till I got the pigs. As soon as I got the pigs, total game changer, man. The pigs were amazing. Like Chris asked, that was my biggest concern was the shit, because everyone, the pigs are nasty. They are a little bit more runnier than the rabbits and stuff, but for the price, and I just like the fact that they don't have all that fur and stuff. They get a lot of protein from the pigs, but I love them. I don't see myself ever going back to rabbits ever again, ever. So, what about you? What do you got anything on rabbits?
I just feed rats and rabbits once they get once I think they're big enough. I've never used the pig. I've never used chickens or anything like that. Just rats and rabbits.
See, I've heard bad stuff about like birds. I heard birds are really get real bad runny poops, but then I've talked to some guys that did, chickens and stuff, and they love them. They think they're the best. So I don't see myself ever trying one, but I mean, it maybe might be worth a shot. I love the pigs though, but
I don't know. I'm gonna have to get with Jeff and get some pigs from him.
yeah, his are supposed to be pretty good too. I've heard he's got some good quality pigs. So
Yeah,
I like these.
Jeff Kelly, guys. If you're wondering, Jeff Kelly out of California.
Yeah, he's definitely got some good ones. Like I said, I go through Don because he's close and he hits up some of the local shows and stuff. So I grab some from him, and I like it because I can get some big pigs. So some of my bigger girls are eating like 16, 17-pound pigs. So it's a lot nicer than having to stack feed 4 or 5, smaller rabbits. Yeah, see, a lot of people are getting them through Jeff's. That's good. I'm glad there's more people that are doing the pigs.
I gotta try them. I gotta get some pigs. I gotta try it just to see.
I got Travis. Me and Travis Warren talked a bunch about it. And, I told him, I'm like, yeah, it's weird. Some of my snakes digest them differently. I don't know if you've ever noticed that with some of your animals. I feel like some snakes poop different than others. So some of my females, they're like, I noticed they have a little runnier poops than some of the other ones. I don't know why that is. I don't know what the cause of that is. I've been feeding strictly pigs now for at least a year, so there's no chance of any remnants of rabbit or guinea pig or anything else. But I don't know why. I don't know why that would be. My one Sula girl is bad. Always fucking diarrhea. Always just liquid, nasty shit.
No matter what you feed it.
Well, with the pigs. So every time I feed her pigs, it's just liquid, nasty. Part of me wonders if it's, maybe she pisses while she shits. Kind of does the double whammy, and then she likes to crawl through it and just mashes it down and mixes it. Could be part of the issue, because she smears. I mean, she smears it everywhere.
Well, you look at. I mean, just like us, we could eat the same kind of food or whatever, but we still will digest differently than each other.
Right.
So, same thing goes with them, I'm sure,
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's just something, it was something that I noticed that I thought was super interesting was, just why the same exact snake, I could feed them the same exact meal, same size pig. One of them, they'll be pretty, they're normal poop clumped together. The other one, it's just diarrhea and just horrible, fucking terrible, hating my life, man, having to clean that. But
I want to take this right here. You talking about the shit and the diarrhea? To take that topic and take it to like caging and husbandry and substrate. There's a reason why, like me, I use cypress mulch, and I love it. And now, by all means, I'm not saying that's what everybody has to use. You use whatever you like. I think what you use paper, right?
Yeah, So I every couple years I'll change. So my last one was I am all strictly paper now. I recently tried out the wood fire pellets that everybody was raving about, which I'm torn.
Like I said, I switch every now and again. I mean, I'll go to paper and whatnot because I can get newspaper free and whatnot. It doesn't cost me anything, but I don't know. I love cypress mulch. And you talking about like, some of your animals, what you feed them.
Yeah.
I love it because it helps when it helps with the smell. I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for me. I think it's a lot easier to clean, especially, when they piss, it clumps up.
Right.
And you use, if you use enough, you can spot clean. You can spot
because you guys used cypress before when you had the bigger retics, right? When you and Jason, okay.
Well, Jason paper, I've always used.
You've always done okay. I didn't know if you guys all use it. So when you had like your bigger retics, when they piss gallons of piss at a time. Mm-hmm. I mean, so that even when they do that, did you have to do a full cage clean, or could you just
I would
Spot clean that.
I would spot clean.
Really?
If I needed to, because it would clump up, and I would take it. If I needed to add
Really?
I'd add to it. And about if it was bad, then I would take them out and by all means. But most of the time, I'd spot clean, and every other week, it would all come out and all fresh.
That's my next question was going to be: how often did you completely change it?
You know, and it would also depend on the size of the animal and whatnot. But
yeah.
Usually, about every other week, everything, every cage, every tub, whatever would be taken out and cleaned, washed, and have fresh mulch put in.
Yeah.
But I one of the reasons why not just that, another reason why I like cypress so much is because how it holds humidity.
Right.
Where I live, it's high humidity as it is.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, it helps with their shedding when they're crawling through it. It helps them get their remove the shed and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of benefits to it, but there's also some things that I don't mind the cleaning. Like a lot of people, their main thing about it is that they seem like it's too hard to clean or it takes too long. To me, it doesn't. Maybe I'm just used to it. I guess I'm just used to it or whatever. Like it doesn't bother me none. So whatever.
And I mean, the cypress, that's got to be pretty is it somewhat cost effective or?
Well, I think
what do you pay for a bag roughly? Do you know off the top of your head?
What is it, like $3 something for a 50-pound bag?
Holy shit!
Bag, some shit like that.
And you just get that from like a Home Depot or Menards or Lowe's or something like that, huh?
Go to Home Depot or whatever like that and get a shopping cart. And
I may have to try a bag of it. See, the only problem that I have with I know when I was using the pellets were my snakes are in my basement, so I had to carry like all these bags. I think when I did the pellets, I went crazy. I'm like, I ordered like 20 40-pound bags or 50-pound bags of those wood fire pellets from Farm and Fleet. So I went and picked them up on a pallet. So then I had to move all of these bags into my basement. That's a lot of going up and down a flight of stairs with 50-pound bags of. I was dead by the end of the day moving them up and down. And then it was the same thing when I was taking the garbage out. I'm hauling this shit out of the basement. You know what I mean? And it was heavy. That's part of the reason I like the paper is it's a lot lighter. For the smell is the biggest thing for me. Like I want to get something that helps with the smell because I have a lot of animals, and if I miss one day of cleaning or miss one cage of cleaning, it reeks. It's my furnace is in the basement, so it sucks all that air up through the rest of the house, and my wife hates it. So I love paper because of how clean it looks. I love it like. God forbid if you have mites, you can find mites super easy on paper. When they don't destroy it, it looks awesome. I just love how clean and organized and orderly everything is. And I like my other concern with like cypress or when I was using the pellets was feeding. I'm just so paranoid that you're going to have chips or shavings stuck to the prey item, and then that snake's going to ingest it and mess them up. Because I thaw all my feeders out in water, so my feeders are all wet when I put them in the cage. So now you're gonna have all this stuff soaked onto the animal, and now they're gonna eat it, and that's my concern.
That might be part of that extra water that your animals are intaking. That's why I stopped doing that. That's how I used to do it. I used to thaw out all my feeders in water, and I don't do that shit anymore. I just let them out, that way they're dry when I feed them.
So I tried that. So see, my issue was I tried thawing them out, the pigs, without water, and they just got so bloody and like just I don't know. They weren't as clean as I like them. So now what I try to do is when I done thawing them, I squeeze them, try to squeeze as much excess, squeeze all that excess water out of them I can before I toss them in there. But it's just one of those things where I kind of I live with it now. I mean, they're going to piss a lot, but it is what it is, Got a lot of people throwing up some comments or questions in the, let's see, where
you get your paper from.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is I don't use newspaper. I used to use just cheap free newspaper, but I buy all mine off of Uline. So I buy pallets of it. There's like 4 different sizes that I use for my 632 visions. I use it's 36 by 48, and I mean I think I get 500 or 800 sheets of it, and I think that costs like $60. So I mean I blow through paper. I spend quite a bit of money at Uline every 3 or 4 months, with all my paper and stuff that I buy. But I don't know. I mean, would cypress be more cost effective? It might be. It definitely might be. But I don't know.
At the end of the day, you use what you like. You use whatever is good for you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I use cypress because that's what I like.
I might try that. I may have to next time I go to Home Depot see if they got a bag of it. Maybe I'll try it on one big 632.
We got a question about mites. So
Yeah.
If you ever had mites, what did you do? What was your treatment? What did you?
So, I mean, I think it's inevitable. If you have any amount of animals, you're going to get them. It's going to happen. I mean, as much as I would say I'd never have had them or I'm never going to get them again, realistically, I probably will. I'm sure at some point in the future, unless I stop keeping animals tomorrow, I probably will get them again. I've gotten a lot better with my quarantine protocol, but they're still in the same room. Until I think you set up a separate room, there's always that chance. But what I use now is I do the no pest strips. I don't know if you've ever used those, James, or not, but I get those from I don't have any sitting around here. They're just at Home Depot or Menards, or I think they're even at Walmart. But it's just a white little plastic container with a yellow strip of poison. And what I usually do is I usually just throw them in the cage, just like they are. Cut them open, pull them out, and I throw them in the cage. That's only for the bigger, like the 632s, my 600s, my 432s, 400s. Anything smaller than the 400s, I will I'll break them open. I'll pull the yellow piece of insecticide or whatever you want to call it out, and I'll cut it in half or cut it into quarters, and then I kind of just put an appropriate size piece in each tub. But then I've even took it a step farther, and even like my little V18s, if I notice some mites, or if I haven't had them in a while, but I got these little plastic like deli cup things with a screw-on cap. So I'll cut little squares, put them in there, and I'll drill some holes in the top, and I'll put those in the cage with the animal. Because you don't want that stuff to get in the water. If it gets in the water, it could kill the snake, Right. So you should pull the water. The babies I usually do. My bigger ones I normally don't. I've been doing it that way forever, and I've never, knock on wood, never had an issue. So it's not to say I would advise pulling your water if you're going to use it. But what about you? What have you ever used or done?
Well, I'm kind of old school, so I've always used Permethrin. Go to Tractor Supply and use some of that, and use just a little bit of it, and to a gallon of water, and it gets rid of them. And I never had any issue. Some people will say, that it might be harmful to the animals, but I've never lost an animal, a baby, nothing, but that's what I
mean. That's all that matters, Yeah, I remember Travis years ago telling, and I used it a few times, and I didn't think it was bad. I mean, I don't know, it worked definitely. It definitely works. I will say that. Now, did you spray it directly on the snake, or was that something that you would just? Okay, that's what I thought.
I sprayed on I changed the bedding, everything like that, clean it thoroughly. And then, usually if it's mice, something like that, I will put them on paper until I, don't see them anymore or whatnot. And then, I put them back, the cypress, and spray the cypress with it. It's, I don't know. That's what I've always done. That's how I've always done it. Remove the animal, spray the animal, spray the cage, clean the cage, put them on paper, and spray as needed.
Yeah,
until they're gone. You know, you don't see anymore. So
definitely. Hell yeah. Yeah, in the comments, Alan Cordova was saying Frontline. I've never used it. I actually bought some. I saw some on sale on Chewy like last year, and I bought 2 bottles of it just because I said, oh, the shit was super cheap. And I've heard good things about it. I've never used it, though. Luckily, I've never had to, or haven't had to since I bought it. So um, I will definitely try that next time. But yeah, I mean, it's might suck. But what can you do? I mean, like I said,
it's part of it.
it's you have any sort of collection, you're going to get them at some point. It's just inevitable.
I think it's hilarious when I don't know, when people talk shit about people having mites, this and that. It's one thing for somebody to have an infestation.
Right.
It's one thing for somebody to not care and take care and do what's needed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's just it's mites is part of what we do. So
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean it's I've seen them. I mean, you've seen them too, just infestations. I mean, I've never luckily gotten one like that where it's just the snake is covered in them. I mean, I've gotten them in before where there's a couple, you've noticed a couple of them on it, and snake goes right into a soak, a little bit of Dawn dish soap to help drown those mites, and goes into a clean tote. Hopefully, if you have the space and the availability, you can put it away, move it away from the other animals. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's not that it's good, but yeah. I still remember the nope. What was it? Prevenamite. I remember when I used to use it. Prevenamite.
Good.
See, I never had good luck with it. I used to buy it all the time, and I'd use it. I only remember finding it or using it once was I got it at the local reptile pet store. It was called Black Knight 2. Kind of the same shit. I think it had a little bit different ingredients, but man, that shit worked like 10 times better than the Prevenamite. And then they pulled it. You couldn't buy it no more.
Yeah, I've used it all, but I mean, I like the Permethrin, man. Just go to Tractor Supply, get a bottle of that shit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As long as you can get rid of them, they're not that hard to get rid of them, really. But yeah. And then as far as rest of the substrate, that's literally all I do. So paper, everything is paper. Unprinted white newspaper is all I use. So you know what else I've used that I really liked? Same thing, I got it from Uline, was the corrugated cardboard. You ever seen that?
Right, yeah.
I really liked that a lot too. That stuff was nice. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass because for my cages and stuff, I'd have to cut it down to size. But I actually recently just talked to the people at Uline to ask them if I could get them in different sizes instead of what they just list on the website. Because I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind trying it on some of the racks. Some of the baby racks, get them in little squares cut in there and stuff might be pretty cool. And they seem to have a lot of different widths, so you should be able to get them for all different size of tubs. So I may try that. I may get a couple rolls of that to try. But
fucking shit. But no, hey Chris, no, I've never used the Pest Strips. I've heard nothing but good things, but I've never used them. And Chip has a fucking monkey, so there you
go. Fucking monkey, man. Monkey would be pretty cool to have, but yeah. So what else? We touched on caging a bit, right? We touched on bedding, lighting. I mean, lighting is I don't really. There's no supplemental heating. I mean, all my cages have lights on them, just because I like to look at the snakes when I come down and I turn the lights on, but. It's just like my big 4 or 6 foot cages all use 4 foot shop lights that I just saw. They're hooked up to a little switch, so each stack of cages has a switch to turn lights on. Simple. Do I use a paper cutter? Not sure what you mean, Chris. Like for the unprinted newspaper or for what? My unprinted newspaper, I buy it already pre-cut. It's in sheets. So if you go on Uline, you can just get unprinted newspaper sheets, and they have, 10 or 12 different sizes, 24 by 36, 36 by 48. You can also get in the rolls, but I didn't want to mess with having to get a paper cutter and have to have space for a paper cutter. So I did have, and then when I used what was the other stuff? The corrugated cardboard, I just used scissors and just cut it straight down. Never had an issue. Yeah, so yeah, the rolls. Yeah, so I just buy them. I pay a little more and get them already pre-cut. They ship them on a pallet. You can kind of, I'm going to move my camera a little. You can kind of see it. This is right here. Oops. Right here. Where are we at? Right there. So that's some of the paper I use for like the little bit of racks. They're already pre-cut. I think there's like 2,000 sheets of paper in there. So, yep. So.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, like I said, lighting is pretty basic. You don't really even need it.
Yeah, I don't. I've done that before back in the day, with like LED lighting, like strips and stuff, and I don't do any of that now. I just
do you get any lighting in your room? Like you have windows in your garage? Yeah, so you get natural lighting.
But I don't have I don't put lights in the cages and stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you don't need them. I like coming down here, and I don't really get much natural light in my basement. I have one window, that's it, and it's halfway blocked by cages, so don't really get much natural light in there. So I got to have something, and I like being able to see the animals and when I take my pictures and shit. So yeah, it's really it for lighting, man. There ain't really too much. It's pretty easy. Heating? Did we talk about heating or no? No, we didn't, did we?
No.
Or did we a little bit?
A little bit.
I know you guys were today a little bit, right?
Yeah, we talked about that in the nation.
Okay.
Chip and I did.
Because you use ambient, don't you? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know you like that. I wish I could try. I want to try it just to see how it would work for me. I'm a big fat guy, dude. I would be dying. I'd be dying 80, 82 degrees in that room, but
you get used
I don't know.
to it.
Yeah, might lose.
So I guess it won't bother me.
Yeah, might lose some weight doing it, so that's always a plus, right? Working out and sweating in there.
There you go.
But no, so all my stuff is on. I use on all my caging, like all the 4-foot cages here, and all my 6-footers and 432s, all that. I use Ultratherm heat pads. Everything is on a heat pad. I like those. They're a little bit more. I feel like I talked about this, but maybe I didn't. But anyways, I use Ultratherm heat pads, which I like because they're a little different than the Flex Wad. You can plug them directly into an outlet without a thermostat, and I think the max they get to is like 110 or 120. So it's just hot, but it's not going to melt your cages down. So, and then I everything is ran into Herpstats. All my thermostats I use are all Herpstats. I'm good friends with George, and he's pretty tight with the guys over there at Spider Robotics and stuff, and he's a dealer for them. So anytime I have an issue, he takes care of me. He's replaced probes for me before. They actually, because the way I set my cages up is I put the probes inside of the cages, right? So I drill a little hole through the side of the vision. I run my probe in there, and I tape it down where the hot spot is. So only thing that I've tried it on the outside of the cage, and it never worked good for me. I always had issues. So tape it to the inside of the cage, but obviously the bigger retics piss gallons upon gallons upon gallons, so they fry out these probes. So I don't know if they were working on it or if he started making them because I was blowing through probes left and right. So he started making these like aluminum wrapped, like little sheets of aluminum wrapped probes that they shrink wrapped at the end so they couldn't leak, so you couldn't get like piss stuck in them. And ever since then, I've never had an issue. They work great. They don't, like Chris is asking if they mess with the probes. I've never had them. Very rarely, maybe once every couple months, one will rip out a probe, but that's very, very, very rare. But it's all the problems us guys that can't do ambient, man, run into. Fucking probes and thermostats and
it's just part of it. I mean, that's what they used to do. So I mean,
Yeah. It's. I mean, now I've been doing it so long that it's I mean, I could do it in my sleep, setting up a cage for a retic now. It's pretty straightforward and simple. But like when I set mine up, I don't know. So like for Chris, I set my probes when I drill a hole. I drill it pretty close to the bottom of to the cage. I don't like run it down the back of the wall or anything. It's literally I drill through the bottom of right by the floor. So there's not a lot. I mean, when I put the paper in, you don't even see it. Like you can hardly see that there's a probe there. So, yep. Yeah. What else are we missing, James? We got heating, we got caging, we got what else are we missing? I kind of touched on feeding.
Feeding.
We can go back to. I feel like feeding's a good one. So like, all right, for example, like with me with the feeding. So I kind of have always been I feed big meals, but I don't feed that often, right? I mean, how do you do it? Do you go big meals or do you go smaller meals? Well, you feed every week.
Right? I feed every week. Even though I feed every week, I still I feel like I feed. Like I go slow. I think, I feed every week, but I feed appropriate size meals. And I don't try to bump them up to bigger prey items real fast or anything like that. I just feel like God damn it, a female, they're not gonna fucking breed to almost 4 years.
Right.
So there's no reason, even though it's a big snake, they're gonna grow, but there's no reason just to pump the son of a bitch up with a bunch of food.
Yep.
In my opinion, that's how I do my shit. What anybody else does, that's fine. So even though I feed, once a week, I don't go crazy about it.
Yeah. So like I'm the opposite completely. Like I feed the shit. I mean, I feed them huge meals. I mean, even like I shouldn't say everything. So you get those couple animals that you're really trying to grow and put some size on, males especially, right? So I usually feed them pretty good sized meals for the most part. Once they've had a few meals and a few sheds and they're established, and I know a big meal is not going to really hurt them, I tend to feed a little on the heavier side, but I don't feed often. That's the difference. So like my snakes might go 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Things are also different when you're all right. So you look at what I have now, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm dealing with compared to you have a little bit of everything. You have hatchlings, you have sub-adults, and then you have your breeders.
Right.
You're gonna feed once your females are of age and whatnot. Once they start getting closer to age, I know I'll start feeding them a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily trying to make them fat asses, but I'm gonna start feeding them a little bit heavier.
Right.
Then your males and whatnot. Males tend to be better breeders when they're a little bit smaller. So
yeah,
it depends on. Okay, what are we feeding? Are they hatchlings? How old are they?
Males and females, I feel like make a difference.
Are they holdbacks? Or they can be used for breeding. So all that depends on how something's going to be fed in the first place.
Right.
So,
no, I agree 100%. I mean, everyone feeds differently. Like, I mean, like I said, I even feed, my example, my blonde anthrax male that I got, right? I feed him a lot heavier than some of these other, even raise-ups that I'm raising, because he's a male. I want him to get size because I want him to breed quicker. The females, yes, I want to grow them and I want to get them big, but it really doesn't matter. Like, I look at it like the days of growing massive, huge retics to get them to breed is done. I mean, that's been done for a while. You don't need them fucking 18 feet. You can get mainland retics 10, 11 feet, fed very moderately or even on the light side, and they're still going to breed. So there's no need to slam them with tons of food.
Well, what's the point of having a huge animal, a female that you're going to breed, okay, and you make her huge? The thinking is the bigger she is, maybe the more eggs she'll have, right?
Absolutely.
But if she's not of age,
it's not going to matter.
It don't fucking matter. So
right, no, I agree. I agree 100%. You know,
It's also one of those things where, okay, well, let's think about the health of the animal too. You know what I mean? I don't know.
yeah,
There's a lot, you know, and the thing about it is, everybody that's listening, everybody that's going to be watching this later, this is how we do things.
yeah,
This is what works for us. This is not what we're not telling anybody. This is how they should do things. At the end of the day, it's your money, it's your animals.
absolutely.
You know, it's up to you to know what's best for you and your animals. So
Yep. I mean, and that's part of the thing. Like, I would love to have a set day. You know, like I would love to be like, okay, I'm going to feed all my babies on a Sunday or a certain day. You know, and it's my schedule does not allow that. You know, my schedule is I work weekends sometimes, or you know, there's family stuff going on, and it's just something that just I don't do it. So I try to jump around as best I can. It's hard for me to feed on a real set schedule. That's why I tell everybody, like me personally, this is just me. I don't really keep track of how often I feed, or you know, I just watch my animals. You know, if I see, especially my bigger animals, if I see them starting to cruise, starting to push a lot, they're you know really active. It's either they want to eat or they want to breed, one or the other. You know, so as long as and I know my temps are good, so I feed them, and usually that's what it is. And I mean, it works for me. That's how I do things. That's how I've always done things, and it works for me. And I don't know. That's I will say though, it is pretty awesome. I do like feeding those big girls some big giant pigs. It's pretty freaking awesome. You know, feeding those the blonde tiger and my big Sula, big 15, 16 pound pig. That's every bit of this big around is. It's fucking pretty sweet. It's pretty awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the coolest things. Like my parents come into town and they're cool with the snakes. They've been around them since I was a kid, but that's something my dad hunts and does all that. But like comes down and he's like, hey, can we see the snakey? Like, are you gonna feed anything? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I got a 15-pound pig for this snake. He blows every time. It blows his mind. Like it's just, I don't know. It's the craziest thing, man. So what's he
holy
saying?
shit!
That's a big pig, Chris. That's a
Wow.
very big pig.
You got video or pics of that shit?
That's insane. Yeah, I would love to. Like, I think my blonde tiger, she's probably the biggest snake I have right now. And I don't know, man, if she could take a 30-pound. She might. She takes a 17-pounder, and I mean, it leaves a lump, but it's nowhere near. I mean, it could be a lot bigger. She probably could do a mid 20-pounder, I would imagine, without an issue. So here's a little funny story. So I still talk for the old school people that might know. I still talk to Noda Howe, right? Noda Howe's the Sula dude, like who just completely like got out of Retics and he moved. He lives in New Mexico now. Me and him talk probably. It's usually like every other week or every 3 weeks or so. We usually just text back and forth. He always sends me stuff from when he's field herping. But we were bullshitting one day, and he was telling me how his big Sula, the mother to the one that I originally had that bred and made the matrices and all that shit, he said he has pictures of her eating a 90-pound calf. 90-pound calf. He says they're on one of his hard drives, and he said he's like, I'll be honest, he's like, they're in storage, so when I get time, I'll get them and I'll send them to you. I'm like, dude, I cannot wait to see these pictures. I hope he gets them. I hope he can find them and they're not like compromised or anything. But, I mean, imagine that, a 90-pound calf. That's huge.
That's amazing.
That is fucking. He said that was the only meal that snake ate the whole year. Like, I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, he's cool, Chris. He's a really cool dude. Like, and it's funny, like, I always tried to reach out to him and find him, and I could never. He like disappeared, and he actually reached out to me one day. He found one of my images on Google of a Sula, one of the Sula crosses that I made. Found my Facebook, or found a Facebook ad or something with my phone number, and he started texting me, and we've kept in contact. We text, like I said, we text quite a bit actually. So always send him pictures and stuff, but yeah, I couldn't even. 90 pounds, dude. Fuck. I'm kind of tempted to see if my dad would shoot a deer for me, a small deer. If I could feed a small deer or something to one of the bigger snakes.
Oh, dude. Go get a goat. Chip said, what do you say? He said he fed a 40-pound goat with the horns cut off.
Yeah, that's cool. That would be neat.
Go get you a goat.
There was, I remember a couple of years ago, Shane had that picture where he fed when he had his cow. He fed the cow a pig's head, like down to the neck or shoulders. Cut that, the fucking thing ate a deer head. That was pretty neat. To compare down the road with others. No, I mean, I've never really recorded any growth. I'll be honest. I've never. I will say, that is something. So my Sulas, I think, are going to go. Pretty sure, fingers crossed. And that's something I'm going to try. I want to take a couple of them, two, if I get enough of them, take 2 females, and I want to feed one a ton, and one I'm going to feed like my normal everyday feeding schedule. And I want to kind of compare them and see how they grow. Because I still believe, man, that the Sula, we're kind of going off on a different thing, but I still feeding my Sulas and seeing them interact and stuff. I just feel like they process through food a lot quicker than the other retics that I have. They just blow through food so fast. It's I don't know if that is a Sula thing or just in my head. I think I see that, but who knows? It's definitely pretty interesting though.
Yeah, I've never really been into I wish knowing the things that I know now that I took better notes and had pictures and videos and shit, but no.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff I wish I would have saved from when I started, and I can imagine it, like you said, it's probably the same for you, kind of before most of the internet days, stuff like that.
Well, it wasn't really about, I never took a science approach, to it,
Right.
doing it for other reasons. So.
Right. Yeah. It's, it would be cool though. Like, I mean, I definitely, like I said, I definitely think I'm going to try that if I get lucky and actually get to hatch out some Sulas. That's just one of those things I want to see. Would really like to see the growth rates and stuff like that between siblings. I want to see if I can truly grow a monster snake. So I'm going to have to do the old feeding it every day or every other day trick, a small, medium-sized meal, just get it huge.
I'm going to need a female.
Dude, I'm freaking out. I still can't believe it. Like, I threw the male in yesterday just to see, because like I said, that snake never refuses food, ever. She's never refused it since I've gotten her. And when I was thawing out pigs and she didn't even come up to the glass, I was like, man, there's definitely something going on. And I threw one in and she wanted nothing to do with it, which is completely out of character for that snake. And she looks huge. She looks swollen, so not ovulation big, but put the male in, he's not doing shit. No arcing, no nothing. She's not wagging. Could be the year, man. Could be the year. I will, I don't know what I'll do if I make them. Besides cry.
I'll be fine with you.
I think they're going to be the best. I think they're going to be some of the best looking Sulas, man. I think I love them. I love all the Bantangs and I love your guys's. I love the ones you guys made. But the ones I have remind me so much of that Noda Howe bloodline. And I think these are actually partly from Noda, from the stories that what I've been told from Noda and from Terry. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Just got to make my classic pattern donut holes down the back, the 4 dots on the head, the greenish black eyes. That's what I want. I'll be happy. I will be happy. Don't worry, I'll get you one though. get you one or two. Well, you need a female for yours because yours is a male that you got, right?
Yeah, I got a
now?
male.
Yeah.
I got a male. Yeah, he's eating good. He's in
think
shed and he's eating, so.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try to get one out of Blake and Jen's clutch next. Me and Blake have been talking, so I think I'm going to try because I think they got a decent little clutch of them right now. So I need more, man. I need more. I told Rodney if he makes them, I want a pair of them. I just want an army of Sulas, man.
I wish I had all my shit back. I wish I had all my Sulas, all my Boutons, all that shit. God.
What'd you think of that that picture I put up of that big Bouton of Chad's?
That's nice.
Dude, that snake is so. I don't know if you remember. You remember when Chad was posting about his Sulas when he was like got eggs from them and stuff, and his huge giant female. You know, I wish I had. I have 2 pictures saved on my computer somewhere in my hard drive, right, of his big female. And to this day, that is still the biggest retic. I've told other people that it's the biggest snake I've ever seen in my life. I know Nick Launer and Sal have been there. They saw that snake in person. I think they both said that it was the biggest retic they've ever seen. The snake filled up a 632 completely, like huge, giant. I mean, it was huge. I mean, the snake, it was wild. The snake's scales were bigger than my thumbnail. I've never seen a retic. It was unbelievable, man. I just don't even. Oops, sorry, I don't know what I just did. I clicked on something. Sorry, Chris. Oh, that's new. I guess you can put people's comments on the screen.
Oh, look at that.
That's pretty fancy. Bigger than Bob's. I mean, I've never seen Fluffy in person. So I will say, you have? She's big, huh? Which one did you see? All of them. Because he's had like 3, right?
All of them, right?
So I can say I've seen Jay's in person, right? I don't remember seeing Fluffy when we were at Bob's. I mean, he had some big snakes, but Jay's is probably one of the biggest I've seen in person. And I do think the Chad Sula was bigger. Maybe not girth, maybe not in girth-wise, I don't think. But like in overall length and head size, the head of the Sula, man. I don't want to be like that guy that's exaggerating, but I'm not joking you. It literally, the head reminded me of like a shoebox. It had to be like this wide, dude. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable looking snake. I don't know what I think he sold it, but man, I don't know. I love seeing those old pictures, man, of over in Indo of those dudes with them big retics, man. Like, it's just the coolest thing ever. And that's why I just can't get into the super dwarfs, man. As much as I should, and I like them, and they make cool stuff. Those big ass snakes, dude, are so impressive.
I don't know. I like them all.
Retic,
you know.
I know. I am too, but I don't know. I just big, giant, 18, 19 foot fucking snake that's like a telephone pole. It's just so impressive, man. It's so impressive. But I'll send you the picture. I don't know if you saw it from, I think it was Bhutan. The local villagers, man, are carrying this monster. There's like four dudes carrying this monster retic across like a dirt road. It's I don't know, it blows my mind. Buttercup. Which one was Buttercup? Is that at at Bob's? I don't know Buttercup.
Yeah, didn't Bob? Or wait. Who the fuck had that? I feel like I remember talking about.
I only remember Fluffies. All the Fluffies. Obviously, Bob's Tiger. I don't remember those.
That's right. Well, like I've said, man, back in the day, some of the biggest biggest retic were tigers, you know, and it just seemed like all the crossbreeding and whatnot and trying to make new, you know, stuff, you know, just kind of fucked all that up.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Like, well, that's when I went out to Jay's and like me and Garrett were talking, and that's what he said. Like his blonde stuff was huge. Like the blonde stuff seems to get giant.
Yeah.
And like I said, my blonde tiger is the biggest retic I got right now. She's probably, I'd say she's close to 19 if she's not 19 already. I mean, she's big. But yeah, the ones that he had, man, were just unbelievable. I mean, some monster snakes. It's I don't know. It would be cool. I really wish somebody would find a 25 or 26 footer, like a legit. I just would love to see how big that snake truly is. But
we need
curious.
We need to go up to Bob's.
I'm down. I'm down to go to Bob's. There's a lot of people's places I want to get back to. I'd love to go back to Kevin's. I'd still kind of like to go to Jay's, but I don't know. That's a sore subject.
Oh,
and then I'd like to go check out Chris's stuff. Chris got some cool shit. There's a lot of people. Got to try to get into Sal's vault of snake broom.
Oh no, I'd love to go up to Nerd and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'm afraid I'd pop off.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. We'll have to talk about that. I'm curious to see. You've never been to Nerd either, right? You've been to Bob's though.
Yeah, I've been everywhere else. I have never been up there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same with Andy not being there anyhow.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, it was fun when I went last time without Andy. It was still cool, but yeah, it definitely wasn't the same than the first time I went to Nerd. That's for sure. But it was still a good fucking dude. It's just awesome. I mean, it's like I said. After going to all three of them, man, it changed my outlook. Like on a lot of stuff, like who I thought had the coolest, best, biggest collection, and I don't know. It was totally different. I will say I was super impressed with Bob's. I was unbelievably impressed. I guess in my mind, I thought it was going to be a lot different than what it was. That many animals. I thought there was going to be like so much disarray and just, it wasn't. I'm such an OCD guy. I have certain things that I look for, and, things have to be a certain way in places and organization. Bob's is like heaven to me. Just fucking, he's got all those old school Neodeshas, slant fronts, which look awesome. They display the animals amazingly. And then everything's organized, He's got all cages of blondes. Then he's got the tiger head blondes, pieds. Everything is, you don't have pieds all over the place and shit. Everything is where it should be. And awesome. I definitely want to get back there. And I'd like to spend more time. We were only there for a few hours. I would like to check that out. I would actually, Odin 666. I actually would like to get up to check out Brian's place in Michigan, the Reptarium. He gets a bad rap, a lot of shit. I mean, I have to say I don't agree with a lot of stuff in his past of stuff. But
if you can tell me this is a different video, by all means. But the whole thing about it is that there's not one of them motherfuckers that doesn't have some type of shade.
Who's that? Oh, between Bob, Jay, and Kevin, you're saying?
And I'm not trying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
And if anybody thinks that Kevin wouldn't do this or Bob, whatever, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't mean they don't have nice shit. Doesn't mean they don't make nice stuff. It doesn't mean they don't have a great collection. It doesn't mean they haven't done this or that. But it's just one of those things. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Well, is that it's one of those things. It's like it's business. They're three of the biggest breeders probably in the world. And it's like you think they never had shit business or done shit things. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of businesses,
Well, that's what it is. I mean,
no, I agree with you. I just, I mean, That's why I like supporting the little guys, you know, like the guys that are starting out or been involved for a little while, and you know they kind of put a little more TLC into their stuff, and you know they're just trying to make quality animals, and I don't know, they haven't been bitten by the whole industry bug. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or not. In my head, it does. So. Cheer up, buddy. I feel like we took a turn and you're like all down now. You're in a bad mood.
No, I'm not in a bad mood. I'm a ray of fucking sunshine. Spreading my love and joy.
Man. What's up with all those empty visions behind you, man? That's a cardinal sin in the Retic world.
No, they're not going to be
I
empty
see
forever.
1, 2, 3. I see 4, at least 4 right now.
They're not. Man, don't worry about this shit that's going on back here.
Gonna have to get some of that JKReptiles stuff in your place, man. Nothing, man. Waiting to see if there's a.
Oh, we got to get Tom. We got to get Tom on.
Dude, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. I'll be honest.
Hey. You fucking shut the fuck up. You can do it. We're going to have him on here. All right. And then next thing you know, you're going to be building these huge fucking cages.
And I'll be posting memes of they don't belong in visions. They don't belong in vision cages. If you respect the animal, they will respect you. And then get your thumb ripped off by a fucking croc monitor.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking Christ. No, I mean, the dude did do a lot for the hobby. I ain't gonna lie. I mean,
he's the grandfather. I mean, goddamn.
He illegally brought in so much shit from Australia that's commonplace now, you know. But he can have his opinions, man. Let him have his opinions, and that's fine. I don't disagree. I don't agree fully with him. Like, who wouldn't want to set up their fucking snakes in giant ass $30,000-$40,000 enclosures? You know, who wouldn't? That doesn't mean the visions they can't have a good quality of life either. I don't know. That's just my take on it. You know,
I'm right there with you, man. I mean, I you know, if they're eating, drinking, shitting, pissing, breeding, shedding, I mean, it's everything. You know, I don't know.
I mean, I could sit here and dog his croc monitor enclosures. You know, like. You know, forever. You know, why aren't you building cages like that guy Corey? Do you know that guy Corey out in California?
Yeah.
Why aren't you building no fucking 25-foot tall, giant ass Jurassic Park type enclosures for these animals? That's what they need.
And then you got the end of the sentence. Yeah, bitch. Got to do it like
bitch.
That.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. That dude's doing some cool shit, man. Coke money.
I love Coke.
Coca-Cola, man, that's my jam. Yeah. So seriously, when we gonna get you some JKReptile stuff, man?
I don't know. Let's do it.
I have to send you something here soon. I think I need to clear some rack space, buddy.
As long as I mean, we can work something out. We can always work something out. Maybe there's some breeding stuff we can do.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I'll send you something. Be honored to finally have James Mitchell own one of my snakes, man. But you gotta put it in an outdoor 20-foot enclosure though. That's the only caveat to that.
I'd do it for you.
I know you would. It's because I love you.
God damn it, Chip.
So yeah, I don't know, man. What else? I mean, I don't know if there's really anything husbandry-wise we missed, right?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, we could go into detail about, you know, things like how I do stuff and whatnot. But, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to, I think the majority of us, maybe not a whole lot of like new people,
yeah,
or whatever, you know, because they're just learning. But the majority of us, it's all the same thing. we might do it a little bit differently, but we still all have the same end process.
Right.
So, whatever works best for you, and there's nothing wrong with maybe taking a little bit of what this person does and this person does and making your own. At the end of the day, we're cleaning shit. That's all it is.
Well, I think that's kind of what everybody's done, like, I mean, throughout the years, everybody's kind of taken things that Bob has done or Jay has done and kind of morphed it into their own thing. I mean, how many times have I reached out to you when I started out in snakes and Jason and Travis? Hey, what do I do about this? Or what about this? Or how do you heat this? Or what? Dude, I mean, and I kind of took your guys' advice as well as others, and I did my own thing. And now I have my own thing that works for me. Doesn't mean it would work for you. Doesn't mean it's going to work for anybody in the chat, but it's what works for me.
Exactly.
They can take my ideas, your ideas, put them together, and maybe come up with their own, their own shit. I mean, again, at the end of the day, they're very hardy animals. You really can't screw them up too bad. I mean, they need heat, 90-ish degrees, 88 to 90 on the warm side, some water, humidity, and feed them. They're going to live. Clean their shit. Done. It's not that hard.
It's just, I don't know. A lot of us need to calm down and stop and realize that we all started somewhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it's up to us to help people. It's up to us. We're the ones that are doing it. We're the ones that have been doing it. So, it's so easy to, especially people who've been doing it for a while. I mean, there's, like, I'm looking at this MacBook Pro. There's so much information that I can find on this thing. You know what I mean? And we didn't have that when we were starting out. But that being said, yes, people should do their fucking, do a little bit of work and whatnot, and before you decide you're going to get something. But at the end of the day, it's still our job to help.
Right. Yep. So, and I mean, that's, go ahead. No, I mean, that's something I like, like I'll go to the shows, and I mean, dude, I get messages all the time from people that are noobs, or even been keeping retics a little bit and are having issues, and I'll try to help out as best I can. I don't think I know. I mean, obviously I don't know everything, but I mean, I give them the best advice I could. I don't forget where I was going to go with that. I forgot where I was going to go with that. Lost my train of thought. Totally lost my train of thought. But like helping out the newer people. I mean, I don't mind. Oh, I know where it was going. I don't mind helping out the newer people. Like, I like talking to these people that don't have retics or are thinking about getting a snake, or wanting any advice they can have. The problem that I have is these people that go and buy a retic, they've had it a week, and now they're on the Retic Nation or Retic Connection, and they're a fucking expert. They know everything. That's the shit that drives me fucking crazy. I have 22 years of keeping retics. You have more than I do, I'm sure. How the hell are you going to tell me after a week or 2 days of keeping that you know everything? It's just, I don't know. That's the stuff that bothers me. And me being the nice guy I am, I usually try to at least, I'll private message somebody, be like, hey man, I'm not trying to be a dick, but hey, look, you're doing this wrong. You should try this. Everyone's going to, jump down your throat. And then they don't listen, and they fucking basically spit in my face, and they keep posting the same shit. And then I fucking fly off the handle. And then I get pissed. So, I know. But I mean, that's the thing is, like, we got to get newer people. Like, that's why I like talking to people that don't have retics or stuff. We got to get newer people into the hobby and into keeping these animals. We can only sell and trade and bullshit to each other, which is fine to bullshit, but for so long. We still got to have these newer people coming in. Well, otherwise the retics are going to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we also, it helps. We need, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's just like anything else, man. We need to try to find a better way of doing things, as in how to, we all don't have to like each other. You know what I mean? But there's, even if we don't like each other, there's a way of doing things, that comes across a lot better than the way it does. And I don't know if that'll ever happen because people are petty, people are prideful, people are just dicks in general, and that's one of the downfalls of anything. And it's not just fucking retics or reptiles; it's everything in life, But
yeah,
it sucks when we're trying to do something and we're trying to be positive, and then you have all this bullshit. And there's always going to be bullshit. There's always going to be drama, but there's just better ways of doing it. Now, if you got to call somebody out, call them out. Fuck them.
Yeah.
If you fucked up and you're doing stupid shit, fuck you if you can't take a joke.
Well, I think that's part of it too. Is like you said, you basically nailed it. Is call them out. I think there's so much talking behind people's backs in this industry, and then you're best friends with the person to their face, and that's the shit that I think is shitty. Like if you got a problem with somebody, call them the fuck out and squash your shit, or don't talk to each other. But don't talk shit behind someone's back and then you guys are best buddies. I fucking hate that. I don't like that. I can't stand people that do that, and I know people that do that. They'll talk shit about so and so, and then then they're at the show and they're up their ass. That drives me crazy. It's like, why are you even interacting? You were just bitching to me about this person a month ago or a day ago. So I don't know. Be a man and say it straight up.
I agree 100%.
It's like you said, I think that's everywhere though. That's not just the retics. I mean, that's every facet of herpetoculture. I think it's ball python guys. I hear about it in the ball python community and the carpet guys and I don't know. Maybe just retic guys are more dicks, and we know. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more of it in the retic world.
Well, I think we're honestly. I mean, we think that we're really big and whatnot, but we're actually a small group.
Yeah, we're not. We're very niche area, as far as the whole reptile world goes. But I don't know, man.
Yes, sir.
But what? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really got anything else.
Yeah, me neither, man.
I know you're tired. Doing 2 back-to-back podcasts.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Well, I don't know. I don't think we only got about 15 people in here. I don't know if there's anybody that's got anything they want to ask or say or.
Chip wants everybody to know that he loves Tom, and that's about it.
He's something else, man. That dude is. I don't know. He is what he is. But,
yes.
Well, I guess we'll call it. We're at an hour and 8 minutes, so we've been averaging about an hour. So, yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Well, everybody have a good Christmas, good holiday, and I don't know. Me and James are going to figure out the next show. Hopefully, we can have something cool coming for the next show. Fingers crossed.
Yes, sir.
So,
safe travels, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Do us a favor, share, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that YouTube
comment, stuff. All that stuff.
Yes, please. And like I said, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Be safe. Have a good time. Holla.
Later, guys.